What is up guys, I do hope you're well, and welcome to another video from the r/daddycringe subreddit. If you would like your story shared, don't forget to post it on r/daddycringe. And introducing Daddy Cringe merch. I don't know why you guys have been requesting this, but you wanted the logo, so there it is. If you're actually brave enough to buy this, do not forget to post it on my Twitter. I'd love to see that. Thank you very much guys, and with that being said, let's get straight into the good stuff. We have a story from Toa from Siberia. Let my son win. This happened back when I was in junior school. Our teachers have announced a chess tournament. Nothing big, just a friendly competition, or at least friendly as it can be when little kids try to surpass each other. Being fairly decent at chess, I decided to attend. Fast forward to the day of the tournament, despite several losses, I did okay and managed to get enough points to become second place contender. For those who don't know, in a chess tournament, everyone plays with everyone once. For each win, you get 1 point, 0.5 is a draw, and losses give you nothing. The one who has the most points wins. So, as I was sitting on a bench in the hall, resting and waiting for the last round to begin, I was approached by a mother, EM, and her son. As it turned out, her son was my next opponent, and was also a second place contender. She went on how her son was looking forward to this tournament, how he was training day and night, and how important it was for him. When I asked her what exactly does she want from me, she asked if I could just let her son win. It's just second place, she said. You're not going to win the first prize anyway. Now, I was a really stubborn kid, even if it was just second place. I sure as hell wasn't going to let go of it that easy. Of course, I told her no. EM decided to change her tactic, trying to intimidate me, saying that I had no chance against her son and should give up. She even went as far as threatening me to get disqualified for cheating. Once again, I refused politely and asked her to leave me alone, as the last round was about to begin. Seeing that she was getting nowhere, EM went away, telling her son to put me in my place. The last round started, and we sat down to play. EM's son played well at first, but he got nervous every time things didn't go as planned, and everyone knows that if you lose your cool when you play chess, you're almost 100% guaranteed to lose the game. As the game progressed, the kid got more and more frustrated and angry, which led to more and more mistakes. By the end of the game, he got red in the face with anger, hissing something under his breath unintelligible. Needless to say, he lost and started crying. EM, who was standing with the other parents that came to watch the tournament, rushed to her son and gave me a death glare. She started blaming me for making her son cry and claimed that I cheated and must be disqualified. Of course, her claim was quickly disproved. Now comes the best part. Remember the rules of the tournament? As it turned out, the kid who was third place contender was only 0.5 points behind us, and he won his last game. And because I got 1 point while EM's son got nothing, he was now 0.5 points above EM's son, thus kicking EM's son out of the top 3 completely. If looks could kill, EM would be a walking WMD at that moment. Why do parents get so wrapped up in these things? Like you said as well, it's like a young kids friendly chess tournament. And I know young kids get wrapped up and it means a lot to them, but for the parent to get so involved as well, I mean, what good would it be letting the son win? Sure, it's going to boost his ego a bit, and yeah, and probably EMs do that to themselves quite a lot anyway, so yeah, you can see how it relates. But they just learn nothing in life if they just get shit thrown at them like that. But fair play for you standing up, standing your ground, and I would have loved to see your face when he got knocked out of third. Thank you very much for sharing that story. So next we have a story from Miss Lucid Dreams. She's been giving me a lot of grief on YouTube about posting this, so here we go. Actually, she hasn't, I'm only joking. Hey Daddy Cringe, is your favourite stalker, lol. This story happened last year, and I was just too chicken to post it until I saw how cool you are. Naturally, obviously. Cast EM, entitled Monster. NK, nice kid. M, my mum. NC, nice cashier. Me and your favourite crazy person. I was at my favourite department store with my mum, waiting in the customer service line for a return. I have social anxiety, but my mother is disabled, so she asked me to take her to the store for a return, and I agreed. I loaded up on my meds, like I don't give a shit loaded, lol, and headed to the store. The line was kinda long, but not too long, just enough to start Facebooking long. Good description. This lady comes in with her son, who appears to be around 3 or 4 years old, and says they're going to stand near the front of the line, so they aren't in the doorway, but promises not to skip. Lies. I watch as she steps up to the front, and wait until the person at the service desk steps away, and then you can probably guess what happened next. She grabs her child and rushes to the front. My mum yells, "Hey!" And I, since I was loaded up on who cares pills, yelled, "Hey bitch!" The EM turns around and hears the conversation. I say, yeah, you. What? She's acting confused. Mum, you skipped all of us waiting in line. My child is tired. Then I say, get a damn cart. The nice cashier says, Mum, did you skip all these people? My child is tired. Her child was skipping around playing. Then I say, back of the line, cunt. Again, it's the meds. My mum says, please calm down. Then the cashier says, please go to the back of the line. I will not for that, girl. Knowing this is a trigger phrase for me, and I am well medicated. Mum says to me, she didn't mean it like that. I'm triggered. I'm fucking 33 years old. I dress young and colour my hair. I was hoping for a peaceful day, but got you instead. I'm now losing it. I'm sure your dad was hoping for a boy, but got you instead. Nice cashier says over the walkie-talkie, I need a manager. And said in a louder voice, Mum, back of the line. The woman ended up stomping off red in the face, carrying her child who had been very good the whole time. A manager never came, and trust me when I say no one applauded my rude remark, and I'm not proud of myself, but my mum said she understood and never mentions it. Lol. I'm just glad the child did not start crying, or I'd have panicked. Sorry for the anticlimactic end, but it's the best I have for now. Stay cool, Daddy Cringe. You stay cool too as well, Miss Lucid Dreams. As I always say, I always like these sort of stories because they're not sort of over the top. No one's trying to knife each other. There's no one with a machine gun at the front of the counter trying to blast everyone down or anything like that. Nothing over the top. It's an everyday situation. You're in a queue, some bastard tries pushing in front of you, and then it kicks off. And yeah, I can totally get where you're coming from calling the person a cunt, because let's face it, queue skippers are cunts. Thank you very much for sharing your story, Miss Lucy Dreams, and we hope to hear from you again in the future. Stay in those comments. Much love. Next we have a story from Without Coco. We're family. Oh, you have some confidence? Screw yourself, bitch. I say sorry if this is bad, but you know, oh well, honestly, because you're not here for that. I didn't have an encounter with an entitled parent. I live near one, she's my grandma, and in case you're wondering, yes, I'm from the south, so I use words like y'all, etc. sometimes. Cast, me, thick potato, mum, e.g. entitled grandma, EU entitled uncle. With that out of the way, some very slight back to the story to give you some inkling of how entitled they truly are. My uncle has schizophrenia and takes meds. However, due to this, he can't work for the state, nor any menial job, because he's prone to violent reactions over the smallest things, important later on. With all this in mind, he gets a cheque for $300 to live off, and yet he lives with my grandmother, who is a school bus driver and constantly complains about the kids on her bus. Together they take over my mum's life, staying on the phone with her belittling every shard of happiness, staying on the phone for hours or asking her to drive them miles upon miles to one single store, only then to turn around and say she never does anything for them. However, one special day, they came over to the house, which my mum is very proud of considering it's hard for her to work right now, facing a back problem. My dad works from 12 before the sun is up to 6 PM sometimes, giving them barely any time together. Anyway, on to the story. Entitled Grandma called one night, and I happened to be playing on our living room game system at home, in nothing but a towel, due to just having got out of the shower. The conversation went a bit like this. I said, hello? Hello? I was looking for your mother, where is she? Oh, she's not home right now. Her and So she left you home alone? Not surprised. Need me to come over? I say, oh no, I'm fine. I say quickly, not wanting her to come over, even if I was dying, because she'd blamed my mum for making her cry. Again. Oh, too bad. We're making our way now, and hung up the phone, before I could tell her that they were out on a date, for once in years. While I scrambled to get clothes and tried to assemble myself in tights I hadn't washed yet, as well as a button down with a few loose/missing buttons, my hair down and no bra, with it being 50 degrees in my house. We're all very warm-blooded by genetics, except them of course. I turn off the AC for a bit, and try and be maybe at least a little nice. EG and EU arrive at the house, as I open the door combing my hair, which is blue at the tips, because I've dyed it for the first time recently, only to her scowl at it. Ugh, I don't know why she let you do that ugly shit to your hair. This being the first sentence she told me, I knew I was not going to have fun that night already. Rubbing my temple before putting on a fake smile. Oh hey grandma, uncle. See, I'm okay, it's all good. You can go now please. I almost begged wanting them out, not knowing what time my parents would be getting back. However, ignoring my comments, EG proceeds onto our back deck, looking around at the furniture we've just got. Looks like they have just as shitty tasting furniture as they do in decor. At this point, I was getting mad, letting him explore but with a careful eye keeping my distance due to my uncle's mental problems. Even though he brags about getting a cheque and food stamps, but not working, just playing games online. I look at the time, biting my nails, praying my mum wouldn't be home soon, so I tried my damnedest to get them to leave, ignoring their snobby ass 9 comments. "You'll really need to go, and it's late, so please. Mum will be home, and I'll tell her to call you when she is." But just as I got them to consider it, I felt my phone buzz, to which EG quickly took it, looking at the caller ID answering. This is what I heard, because I have bad hearing, so I must keep the volume up, and needed it that way to hear well. Entitled Grandma says, "Where the hell are you? The kids are worried sick crying, calling me to come over and get her, and there's no food in the house, saying a man came by nearly molesting her. What kind of fucking mother are you?" Mother was stunned at EG answering the phone. Only stuttering, huh? How do you think your little girl would have felt screaming for her mum while being raped if I hadn't come? Or killed?" She screamed at my mum into the phone as I begin to hear soft crying sounds. Snatching my phone back, I tell my mum I'll handle it and enjoy a date for now, and the fact that none of that happened. I hung up quickly, locking my phone, looking at my grandmother with the deadliest glare. "Get out of here now!" I tell her, finally sick of this shit. Now another little side note, I'm in high school, senior, and in JROTC. Don't know what that is. Oh, you forgot to tell us. Where you learn military tactics and move up in rank so you become a battalion commander, commanding the whole brigade. So I was well built from marching, not to mention rifle drill. As I stood my full height, my uncle came into view. "Don't you dare speak to her like that, you fucking cunt. You're a whore and a mistake." He began screaming at me, lunging and grabbing at my arm really hard, throwing me down to the deck as I slowly got back up. EG didn't do anything until I dialed 911, ready to hit call. "You don't leave, I'll charge you with assault on a minor, intent upon injury of a minor, aggravated assault, not to mention trespassing, and last but most definitely not least, emotional damage," I say swiftly, being somewhat a law fanatic. "Even if you call the law, you can't kick us off, you stupid bitch. We're family, and no proof of assault," he said smugly with his fist curled. "While we have no cameras, I have the bruise on my arm you just made. That would match perfectly, and the rest of my family hates you, so I'm sure they'd be happy to help," I tell him with a sarcastic sweetness, making him even madder, and felt his foot stomped onto the back of the deck in pure fury. "Now I suggest you leave, or I will dial 911, and Mara's finally going to be rid of you two arseholes," I say confidently for once, since I normally had social anxiety, making it hard for me to be courageous in any situation. "Fine, whatever, this place is shit anyway. Just wanted to help, but you probably invited your boyfriend over to screw him some more. Fucking whore. Go kill yourself and tell your mum to follow behind," was his final words to me before getting in EG's truck, slinging dirt over my mother's truck, as best she could, spinning out the tyres before driving off angrily. While I waited for my parents to get home, I cleaned my mum's truck as best as I could, with it being dark out, and even wrote her an "I love you" letter, knowing she'd be depressed once again for a bit. Once my mother got home, she had 33 missed calls, 58 missed text messages, and 20 voice messages. After that whole scene, we pressed charges against them. Family members who came forward as well, about their abuse to them, so much worse like destroyed property, to arson. Once the trial was done, we got $5,000, and they both got jail time, my uncle going into asylum with no probation. Mum has since cut ties with him, and is finally able to look at herself in the mirror now and smile, which I'm so thankful for, because honestly, she deserves it. That was all for this one, but I could get them from the other side of the family if you want. And now we have a story from Cozy Little Potato. I love that username. The lady didn't like the colour of her vacuum. Okay, not sure if this falls into entitled people's category, so if it doesn't, please let me know. Okay, a bit of backstory. I've been working in retail for 2 years, since I was 18 at 2 retail jobs. One job I happened to grow up in since my mother had worked there for a long time, a year before I went in. At this job, we have an online store that we order from when we don't have a particular item in stock, and the pictures are off by a shade due to whatever lighting the company does pictures with. Anyways, on with the story. I'm standing in the customer service box, just finished up with a customer, when I see a lady and her husband with a vacuum box on a buggy. Great, it's a return. I put my customer service smile on, and this is how the conversation goes. I say, "Hi, were you wanting to return or exchange?" Entitled customer completely ignoring my question. "This isn't the right colour, it's supposed to be yellow. I called the vacuum company, and they said it was supposed to indeed be yellow. Fix it." I say, "Okay mum, just let me pull up the order." I then proceed to pull up her order, as well as the picture of the product. I then say, "Mum, that's the colour it's supposed to be." "No it isn't. Vacuum company said it's supposed to be yellow." It's one of those stick vacuums where only the shaft was supposed to be yellow. My left eye starts twitching, which is a common sign on me letting those who know about it know I'm getting annoyed. So I call my manager and try to resolve the situation before something happened, like knock her out with a vacuum shaft. He comes up and I explain the situation to him, as the couple wander off and look at our seasonal area. I say, "They want to return this because this isn't yellow." Manager says, "Sorry, what?" "Yep, They said the vacuum company said it's supposed to be yellow, and not a sunburst orange. His next words almost had me in a laughing fit. Well, if they want yellow so bad, I can go and see if we have a yellow spray paint and I'll paint it yellow for them. I'm trying not to laugh as the woman comes back up. Are you the manager? Yes, I am. How can I help you? Entitled customer goes through the whole rant from earlier. Would you kindly show us the display? They walk off, and I go back to helping customers. A few moments later, I see her coming back over with a smug look on her face with paper in hand. I'd like to exchange. I do the process, then give her the receipt. Have a nice day. I haven't seen her since, so I hope she got a banana yellow vacuum and not a sunburst orange. Note, if anyone's curious what the vacuum looks like, here's a like with a picture and an orange handle. My god, why do people get so picky over this sort of shit? I mean, it's a vacuum. Well, I know some people do. I know some people want their house colour coded, but it's a vacuum. Surely it's going to be sitting in the cupboard for the majority of the day. The only time you're going to be using it is when you got to clean the fucking house. And then, why would you care what colour it is? I mean, and it's banana. You want a banana yellow? You want a banana yellow vacuum cleaner? The hell! Thank you very much for sharing that story, my cosy little potato. You must have some more of those stories being in customer service as well.